Okay, we're going live now, Agni.
Yes, we are.
Thank you very much. I'll just let it roll for a couple of minutes. How are you doing? Okay. Hello, everybody. This is just to let you know we're waiting a second or two. This is the IBBC introduction panel. Waiting for everyone to log on and make sure they can all hear us. Thank you very much for joining us today. I can see some people still connecting. Okay. I think we can probably make a start. Welcome to IBBC's fourth member introduction panel. We have three very distinguished members today, and also we have our guest, Porrick O'Hanley, in a new format here, where we have a short, brief overview of what's happening in Iraq. So without more ado, I'd also like to wish you a very good, happy Ramadan, and recognizing it's that time of year. So also to say that we will have at the end of the presentations and maybe some questions, we'll have breakout rooms, which will allow you to click on to any one of the speakers that is here, and you can go into a breakout room with them. There may be 3 or 4 or 5 or other people in the breakout room, but it gives you a chance to talk directly to them, ideally to do some business, hopefully, or exchange information, or to just find out something about each other. So the breakout sessions will be not time limited, and as long as people are talking and that you're happy to talk together, then it'll just roll on. So that will be the end of it. So without more ado, I'd like to welcome today 4 speakers. We've got Porrick O'Hanley, who runs Iraq Business News. We have Mr. Wajdi Abu Izzedine, who's Director of Operations at the DAR Group in Iraq. And just to say that DAR Group are founder members of IBBC, so they're very fundamental to our development, and they're a big international company, which you'll find more about. We have Mr. Ammar Rauf, who's a director of Al Bilal, and Ammar is a fairly new member of IBBC, so welcome, Ammar. Great to have you on board. A very respected company, again, with lots of very interesting work. And last but not least, we have Ayman Abu Daim, who is from the National Bank of Iraq, and I think also maybe one of his co-directors, Rawan Badur, is also going to join later on. So we have a terrific lineup. We hope to be finished relatively soon. But first, I may just introduce Porrick O'Hanley, who's going to give us a few minutes on the overview of what's happening in Iraq. And by the way, I would say Iraq Business News is an extremely good entity that you can all sign up to for free and find out what's going on in Iraq. So thank you very much, Porrick. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Ashley. And can I just say what a fantastic job all the team at IBBC are doing at the moment in connecting people and bringing us together in a time when we can't get together physically as we would like. So thank you very much for that. And at Iraq Business News, we're delighted to be associated with this event. I've been asked to give you a short update on what's happening in Iraq at the moment. And as on our website, I'm going to assume that you're all busy people, so I'm going to aim to keep this brief and focused. Obviously, any discussion on the Iraqi economy starts with the price of oil. And fortunately for Iraq, the oil price is back around the $60 a barrel level. So that's roughly where it was at the end of 2019, so before the whole coronavirus problem began. And this is very helpful to Iraq, as obviously most of what's paid for in Iraq is paid for by funding from oil revenue. Now, it's not all plain sailing, but it does put Iraq in a much better budgetary position than it would have been otherwise. And many investments are now starting to move ahead. So the Prime Minister spent last weekend touring the south of Iraq and laying foundation stones for a lot of projects there, big infrastructure projects. As regards foreign interaction, also the PM has been traveling in recent weeks to the UAE and to Saudi Arabia, and he came back with investment commitments of $3 billion from each of those. So things are starting to move in the right direction on that front. Regarding government policy, the big change in recent times, obviously, is the devaluation of the dinar by more than 20% back in December. Now, that greatly helps government finances because the dollars it gets in, obviously, from selling oil translate into more dinars to pay the bills at home. It also makes it easier for local businesses to compete against imports. The flip side of it, obviously, is that it reduces people's ability to buy the stuff that they want from abroad. The government is trying to soften that to some extent, to soften the negative impact of that to some extent by loosening monetary policy and giving soft loans to people and to businesses. Now, it also has to be said, we've seen an increase in some more straightforward protectionism in recent times as well, with the government instructing state companies to prioritize domestic firms when deciding contracts. The government obviously would argue that that's necessary for to help the local economy and so on. And obviously that'll be good news for some of you and not such good news for others. But I think it remains to be seen what actual impact that has in practice in terms of how decisions are made. On the positive side, it really has to be said that the government has taken some very concrete steps at the moment to encourage international investment into Iraq. The Parliament ratified the New York Convention on the arbitration of international disputes a couple of weeks back. It's not exactly on the statute books yet, but that will happen very soon, and that will give additional peace of mind to international investors in Iraq. Also, very importantly, the government has scrapped the requirement to get entry visas in advance before traveling to Iraq. And that's from a long list of countries, including the UK. Now, that's very significant in practical terms, but also in terms of the message that it sends out to the international community. So that's a very brief overview of where we are. I'm going to share a file now in the chat section where you can find more information on all of what we've been talking about. And I just suggest keeping an eye on Iraq business news every day and signing up to our newsletter to keep abreast of what's going on. Can I just make two very quick requests, please, before I finish? Firstly, it's very important to us that we stay relevant to people like you. So please let me know if you have any thoughts or any feedback on what we're doing or what we should be doing. Secondly, we have 22,000 subscribers. We have 140,000 page views a month on the website. So if you do have a need to promote your business or to raise brand awareness, we'd be delighted to talk to you about that. And by the way, traffic on our website is up 30% on where it was this time last year. So I'm choosing to see that as a positive indicator of increased interest in Iraqi business. So I'll finish on that positive note. Thank you very much.
Warwick, thank you very much. That's generally a positive view, I think. So let's hope that continues for the rest of the year. I'd now like to ask Mr. Waji Aboud Izzadeen, who's Director of Operations at the DAR Group, to take us through the scope of work that they do, and very much look forward to it, Waji. You might have to unmute yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Let me share the screen first to make sure we're okay. Can you see the screen?
Hasn't come yet. Let's have a little look. Aha, yep, it's there.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank you, Ashley, for organizing this, as well as Christophe and the greater IBBC family for this opportunity. It is, as you rightfully said before, we have been with IBBC since the very beginning, and we hope to continue contributing to such a great organization. I will try to walk you through a few slides about DAR. Dar al-Handasa was established back in 1956. We are a multidisciplinary international consultancy firm with presence in many countries. We have representation in over 80 countries worldwide, and we have obviously a substantial presence in the UK, specifically in London. We were the founders of DAR Group, and the DAR Group family is comprised of numerous companies. They're all affiliated companies. Many of them are UK companies and UK-based companies like Curry & Brown, like Penspen, like Perkins and Will. As a group, we operate and have physical offices in over 60 countries. 60 countries with close to 300 offices, and we comprise about 20,000 people as staff members. Just quickly, this was DAR, as I said, established in '56, and we provide services in all ranges of engineering, starting from feasibility studies all the way to commissioning of projects. Pensman, which is a UK company established in 1954, it's in the oil and gas field. Curry and Brown, established in 1875, another UK firm which we take pride on. It provides project management and quantity surveying services. Perkins and Will is an architectural firm also present in London and worldwide, and it's mainly architecture. The services are generally addressing energy, planning, urban planning, project management, everything related to buildings, infrastructure, and transportation. That's the scope of all our services. We are comprising 4 pillars. We refer to them as infrastructure, architecture, project management, and energy. We are also the largest shareholder of Worley Parsons, if you know Worley, the Australian company. In terms of the top 225 international firms worldwide, we rank number 6 among them. We are the number 1 in the Middle East, number 3rd in Africa, and number 4 in the US. These are as international design firms. In different markets, we are consistently ranked among the top 5 worldwide. Airports were number 1, education were number 1, healthcare 1, and you can see the rest. So we have been fortunate to be among the top 5 consultancy firms in the world for many, many years now. What differentiates us from others? We deal with fast-track projects. We are there physically where the clients need us. We have innovation, and we are able to produce greenfield mega projects. In Iraq specifically, we have 2 offices, one in Baghdad, one in Erbil. We have completed over 70 projects since 2003. And this is just a sample of the major projects we have, like the Salahuddin University, Najaf master plan for the airport, the American University in Slaymaniyah, this is our work, and the multinodal master plan for all of the transport systems made for the World Bank. And that's just, I think I'm within with the 5 minutes that were allocated to me. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer any question. But that's just in brief who we are as a group. And again, we're proud to be part of this family, the IBBC family. And we hope that things will turn around positively in the near future and, you know, go back to normal and having all that interaction and the business in Iraq.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Wajdi. That was really interesting. And I think people may be quite surprised at the breadth and capability that the DAR group have. So it's great to see it in visible. Will you be posting that on the chat thing that people can then download that perhaps?
I can make it available to IBBC, and I'll send you a copy and you can do that.
Yes, terrific. Thank you
because
very much.
It's a heavy presentation, so I can do that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Now we'd like to turn to Mr. Amar Rauf, who's a director at Al Bilal. Amar, I think you've got a presentation for us.
Yes, thank you, Ashley. And hello, everyone. Just going to share my screen in a second. Is that visible to everyone?
Yes. Yeah, perfect. Very good.
So my name is Amar Rauf, a director at Al Bilal Group. We are a local Iraqi company launched in 1993. Since inception, we have conducted about 150 projects, both on EPC and a construction subcontract. We are headquartered in Basra and in Baghdad, and we also have offices in Dubai, in Amman, Jordan, and in London, and in Alexandria, Egypt. 100% privately owned, 98% Iraqis, and 2% hired for expats are working toward the more on the project management and HSE studies, more on we recruit on expat basis, but 98% of our workforce are all based in Iraq and from the local areas where we work in Iraq. 500 people on the payroll, about 5,000 people is the project is the volume of the manpower, and obviously it fluctuates based on the project volumes. Currently, we're pushing around 5,000 because we have about 6 projects on the ground, and I'll touch base briefly on it quickly in the next slides. The group diversified across different 8 sectors. Okay, the main bread and butter for the company or the group is the EPC business, where we're active in the oil and gas and power sector. And in power, since inception, we've built about 17 power plants in Iraq and 65 substations, both on 33, 132 and 400 kVA. Oil and gas, the exposure picked up when the licensing agreement signed with the IOCs back in 2010, 2011, where British Petroleum, Shell, BGC, Lukoil, Gazprom all poured into the country and they started developing different oil fields. Our oil and gas exposure picked up. Work we do is modernization of gas facilities, both on grassroots as well as brownfield, such as degassing station, compressor station. I'll touch base on it. An NGL refinery, I'll touch base on it also in a few seconds. Other segment of the company is the project development finance, where we're actively developing now a 50 megawatt allocation in Egypt, in Benban, where we're selling the electricity to the Minister of Electricity in Egypt for 20 years. We reached COD, commercial operation date, almost a year and a half ago. Also recently awarded the 525 megawatt allocation, part of the 7 projects that were launched by the Iraqi Minister of Electricity recently. We won, and thank God, with a joint venture of a European company called Scatic. They're one of the largest in solar development. We recently received the award for Karbala, 300 megawatt, and Babel, which is 225 megawatt. That will be a total of 525 megawatt IPP project for 20 years with the Ministry of Electricity. Real estate development also outside Iraq. We have one project in Masdar City in Abu Dhabi, where we're developing a hotel, 388 rooms, will be managed by DoubleTree Hilton, and that's under construction as we speak. Other than that, we get into the industrial. The group also owns 2 factories. One is for bottling, recently launched in Iraq, near Baghdad, where we make different bottle sizes for different end users and also companies, commercial companies that are entering Iraqi market, where we service them through the bottles. And the sandwich panel factory, also it's a recent factory, also launched and commissioned by the group. Trading, we represent these are sister companies. Obviously, each of those are different company under the group umbrella. SAG is a trading company that represents international agencies for oil and gas and power sector, and also provide procurement services for projects with IOCs in Iraq, as well as EPCs in Iraq that are working in different areas. Medical, we have a White Star called White Star, a company called White Star. It's basically entered a long-term commitment or partnership with the Minister of Health, where we develop the SDI, which is the biggest factory of medicine in Iraq. We have actually exclusive right on 2 product lines. One is augmentin and one is ampicillin. And this is a long-term project for a long-term, let's say, contract for 20 years with a partnership. It's one of those partnership agreements we established with the state-owned companies. We also represent international brands that are based in Italy and also Southeast Asia. Catering, the group recently acquired a RPSG, which is a Swiss company, Swiss-based company, provide catering and life support in remote project areas, hence the name, Remote Project Services Group. And we're currently working with the BOC, Shell, and we're providing also catering support for Siemens and Schlumberger. Food and beverage, also there's a regional restaurant chain that is owned by the group and with branches in the UAE and Egypt, and will be recently opening in Iraq. It's a Lebanese restaurant chain that's acquired by the group. And retail, Also, there's a retail company that's representing Aldo exclusively, which is a leather apparel, and we're in close talks with one of the finest called Zara fashion, and we're in final discussions with them to represent them in Iraq on exclusive basis. That's basically the major segment we're looking into, and I will touch on the major one of the biggest sectors that we work in is the EPC business, which is the main bread and butter for the group. Oil and gas, these are the capabilities. I will not go into details because I know I have 5 minutes time, a hard stop, and so we'll just glance over it. It's basically we do brownfield and greenfield projects. These are the type of services or disciplines we do, from water injection processing facility, NGLs, refineries, and we currently have 6 projects. We're currently doing the construction for Karbala refinery. There's about 150,000 barrels per day. It's the contractor are Koreans, Hyundai, GS, and SK. We're also working with Petrofac on the CPF2, Central Pacific facility. We're also working with the we have an MSA long-term agreement with Baker Hughes, where we provide all construction disciplines in Iraq, and we have similar agreement with BGC. We're working directly with Eni, which is an Italian operator, where we're doing an EPC of a 400 kVA substation inside Zubair oil field. Engineering, we outsource to companies like, for example, at Dar. We worked with Pensman in the past for pre-bid tendering. And then these are some of the companies we work with to outsource the engineering work. Some of them are British, Wood Group, Mott MacDonald, and Areco based in Italy, Deitzman, and Rambo. These are the companies that provide engineering services on a subcontract basis. This is a flagship project in oil and gas. It's Hammar Mishrif Sadiq Gassing Station in Zubair oil field. Here in the power, similar greenfield and brownfield. We touch across all milestones of the power sector, from power generation, transmission, distribution, and also SCADA and communication. We also outsource the engineering above a certain threshold of a project size. We outsource it to a detailed design company to provide the detailed design engineering, such as ILF, Von Lloyd, ING, Sargent Laundry, and obviously Mott MacDonald is a company that we worked with in the past, and we currently have work with other services such as operation, maintenance, and manpower supply. 500 megawatt Amara is built by El Bilal, on APC. It's a grassroots power plant, and the EPC was El Bilal, and the end user and our clients was the Ministry of Electricity. Workshops, we have 2 workshops, one in Zubair and one in Artawi, closely and strategically located to the oil fields, and we do different capabilities. I'll touch base, but each size of them is about 10,000 square meter, and the other one is 25,000 square meters, furnished with electrical and mechanical tools to do relevant work inside the workshop. Such a workshop we do, for example, steel structure, where we do about 1,000 tons per month, anything from prefabrication drawings all the way to fabrication and painting and sandblasting, and then we mobilize, or we logistically move the material to sites where our construction team does the full erection of the steel structure that are fabricated in our workshop. Procurement, again, is a one-stop shop. We handle all procurement milestones and internally, and we have 900 qualified suppliers. We work with 10 clients, 10 mega clients, and procurement is headquartered in Dubai with some support from Jordan office and Iraq office. These are some of the material we procured, anything from gas turbine all the way to piping and bulk materials on the electrical side, as well as instrument and control side. Strategy, we're a local company. We work with international clients, and we partner with international companies as well to provide services in Iraq. We engage local stakeholders, and we have social plans to work in difficult areas. The company has proven its track record and its history, and the paperwork that we can share with you later, that we can add value to any company that is willing to enter Iraq and expand on their capabilities and give back to the communities. So that's, in a nutshell, our presentation. I'm happy to receive any questions you may have.
Thank you very much indeed, Ammar. What a huge stretch you have to cover.
Yeah.
Again, thank you. I'm sure there are people listening in who might want to engage with you in some aspect of that. Presumably, the presentation will be available for anyone that wishes.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Okay, finally, last but not least, we have Ayman Abu Daim from the National Bank of Iraq. Looking forward to it. Everyone likes to hear about money. Ayman, can I hand the floor to you, please?
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for the invitation. And as Wajdi said, we are proud to be part of the IBBC family. Allow me first to share the presentation.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, National Bank of Iraq is an Iraqi bank that is part of Capital Bank of Jordan's group. Capital Bank of Jordan owns around 62% of National Bank of Iraq. The group provides commercial and corporate banking services through Capital Bank in Jordan and National Bank of Iraq. And the group provides as well the investment banking products through its investment arms in Jordan and in Iraq under Capital Investments. Capital Bank of Jordan is one of the major and important banks in Jordan. They have around $3.9 billion of assets, 28 branches, and the number of branches increased recently due to the acquisition process that happened during Q1 2021 when Capital Bank acquired Audi Bank branches in Jordan. Capital Bank is the main supporter to National Bank of Iraq. They provide all kinds of support to National Bank of Iraq in terms of human resources, technical support, and other kinds of services that National Bank of Iraq needs. National Bank of Iraq, as I mentioned, is an Iraqi bank that was established in 1995 as a publicly listed company in Baghdad Stock Exchange. As we speak, total assets is around $600 million. And we do have 18 branches and around 88 ATMs. And as the case in Jordan, we have it in Iraq. We also acquired Audi branches in Iraq. We had 13, previously we had 13 branches, and we added 5 more branches. So we have 18 branches located in most cities in Iraq. We provide services to different kinds of segments. We provide corporate clients with different trade finance facilities and services. We are #1 SME bank in Iraq in terms of Central Bank of Iraq's initiative. We also focus on the retail business. We have, we consider ourselves one of the top private banks in terms of salary domiciliation. We currently onboard around 4,000 to 5,000 employees a month, mainly from the public sector. We also focus, we focus on the public sector, but we also serve the private sector as well. We have we do focus on the digital transformation part. We provide our clients with digital services and other services as well. This slide shows the number of branches that we do have in Iraq. As I mentioned, we have 18 branches across Iraq. We have in Erbil, Sulaimani, Mosul in the north. We in Baghdad, Karbala and Jaf in the middle, and we have 4 branches in the south. And we do have 88 ATMs to serve our clients. As I mentioned, regarding our corporate clients, we provide them with the trade finance solutions and financing, LCs, LGs, and direct facilities. We do have excellent relationship with a number of international banks and institutions, mainly the IFC and the World Bank. We have a dedicated regional corporate relationship management team to serve international companies. Regarding the digital services, we do have a strong platform. We have invested recently. We have invested heavily in the technology and the infrastructure. We are the only bank that have a cash center in Baghdad. We do make payments, digital payments for Social Security and Income Tax Department. I want to make sure that regarding corporate and retail clients, we provide them with the online service whereby they can make non-financial and financial transactions through this online service. On the investment banking side, as I mentioned earlier, we provide the service through our companies or investment arms in Jordan and Dubai. Mainly we cover brokerage services, asset management, and corporate finance. This is from my side, and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much indeed, Ayman. That's terrific. Again, hopefully you can post that on here so anyone can access it. I'm particularly interested in digital services, and I did wonder to what extent, whether you can do personal banking digitally, etc., and that's available yet, because that would put you at the front of the queue if you could. So thank you for that. What I'd like to do now, if that's all right, is just ask each of you what your vision for Iraq is, and actually if there's anything you'd like to ask of anybody listening. So for example, if there's anything you feel you could benefit from or you have to offer other companies, then feel free to mention that at the same time. So Wajdi, would you like to just articulate how you see what you would like to see, how you'd like to see Iraq evolving effectively, and what your vision for it would be?
Sure, thank you. Well, obviously, I think it's a shared feeling between all members, and we would like some level of stability to start with. I mean, events like last night when we had this incident in the Erbil airport, or the ones that are happening surrounding Baghdad or other areas, obviously they are of concern to everybody. So I think the first thing we would like to look for is some level of stability. Because I do believe there is a lot of potential. Otherwise, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, I think everybody shares the fact that having the capacity that Iraq has for oil production, I mean, at some point this has to turn around and translate into infrastructure projects, community projects, and social benefits to the population. So there is a big potential. Unfortunately, we have had the challenge of the currency, the banking sector, the security. Then, the period where ISIS was there and all that period, I mean, you have to recover. We are optimistically confident, I would say cautiously optimistic that things may turn around in the midterm, hopefully before, and to keep, an eye on long, once the elections come in, if the elections are successful and everything goes well, I think that will give a level of confidence to the country and to the all entities that are looking into the country. So let's hope that things turn around in the midterm to long term, and I think there is a lot of potential. Obviously, if we didn't believe that, we would not be physically present there with 2 offices since 2003 without closing a day. So we do see that there is a bright future, hopefully in the mid to long term.
Thank you, Wajdi. I think what strikes me is the resilience that companies like yours and ours have through difficult times, so that when things get a bit better, you'll be very well positioned to capitalize in every possible way. Amal, have you got some thoughts about how you'd like to see Iraq evolve and what your vision for it would be?
Yeah, sure. I think we would share the same view as everyone around here and Mr. Wajdi's. Just the country, in short, has a lot of potential, right? Not predominantly where our business is in oil and gas and perhaps construction, but other areas in development, in real estate, in agriculture, in tourism. All of those are basically in areas where it could attract a lot more investors and enhance on the country's overall economy. So the one element would be a comfortable, any foreign investor would be looking for a comfortable set of country where we can visit easily, you can mobilize easily, you can transfer financial instruments in and out of the country, you can obtain fundings. These are all restrictions that should be worked out by the government, right, to attract more investors and make it an investor-friendly environment. And we see that recently, a recent improvement, for example, on a visa. I think someone else mentioned it earlier on, where now mostly foreign countries can visit our country without the hassle of going to the embassy. It's a visa on arrival. And a lot of people perhaps share the different experiences in the past where it could take forever to obtain a visa to the country. So you see improvement happening. This is the bright side. It's on a step-by-step basis because the country has really an opportunity set for every single sector out there. It's still a green in most of the areas.
Thank you very much. It's really, what you're asking for is just what everyone else takes for granted. It's not a big ask. It's a simple, let's make business simple. Thank you very much. Ayman, any thoughts how you'd like to see things evolve and your vision?
Well, I do agree with Wajdi and Ammar. The potential is huge, and we are optimistic actually. As a private bank, if you look at the banking sector in Iraq, you find that around 90% of deposits, assets, the public banks, they have 80 to 90% of the assets and deposits of the banking sector, while around 70 private banks, they have only 10 to 15% of the market share. So the potential is huge for the private banks.
I think we've lost you, Ayman. Okay.
This company will give support and trust to the Iraqi people to start dealing with private banks. Around Central Bank of Iraq, and one of their circulars, they mentioned that around $60 billion are outside the banking sector. So we believe if we have part of this money, the private bank sector will be doing excellent. From our side, we believe that the potential is huge. Therefore, we took a brave decision last quarter when we acquired Bank Auda in Iraq. We have expansionary plans in terms of number of branches, ATMs. The numbers are growing in a very nice way. So yes, we are optimistic, and the potential is huge again. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Just to say, we have one or two earlier questions. If I could just put one of them for Mr. Shaw, I think it says, what's the process of a UK company linking with an Iraqi company to introduce new technology? For example, survey of inner pipe walls and mains fresh water, supplies and precision of precise location of leaks, etc., without interruption of water. That's the first question. And the second one, who are the trusted local partners in Iraq? What are the programs that the Al Bilal Group has provided and which has helped support the reconstruction development programs? Amal, do you want to respond to that second question?
Second part, sure. Sure. The presentation basically highlights the sectors and the development program that we have done in the country, but I'll repeat it in short. So we work in a different main bread and butter for the business of the group is the construction, mainly EPC in the oil and gas sector. We work with the international clients, and we also partner with international companies to add value, because as you know, as big as you get, the larger the company, an Iraqi company is, you still have a limited capacity, for example, in engineering. So that's why we partner with flagship names like Wood Group and Mott MacDonald and other companies that will provide and satisfy that scarcity of intelligence and know-how. Procurement, construction, this is what we do. We are actively involved in local communities. We are all Iraqis. Some of us are Iraqis, Americans, Iraqis, Canadian expats, and provide. We understand the Western system very well, and we're educated abroad, and we give back to our community and we give back to our country. So to highlight the development programs, we are active in construction, EPC, oil and gas and power. We're active in real estate and development. We were recently awarded IPP projects with the Minister of Iraq, 25 years, where IFC will be funding that. We're actually approved with the IFC, International World Bank, for one of our projects in Egypt, where they're providing the complete debt for our project, which is also another IPP solar in Baniban, Egypt, where we're selling 50 megawatt allocation in Egypt. So that's second development. The third program would be the medical, where I explained what we're doing there, and the retail, and as well as the catering and life support. These are the major programs that we are conducting in country, and we look forward to partner with any company that is willing to add value and work with us in Iraq.
Thanks very much indeed. Wajdi, are you there? Or I just wondered if you had to go. Ayman,
I'm here.
Yeah. Would you like to say something about suppliers, for example, and how you engage with higher tech? How open are you to work with technology and innovative companies?
Actually, as a consultancy firm, we don't necessarily engage directly with suppliers, because we are designers and consultants. We specify products in part of the specs as per client requirements. But I think the suppliers and the manufacturers, I think the way they should contact and market their products, of course, is through execution agencies, contractors, EPC contractors, and give them the reassurance that they will provide the products and they will deliver the products in country. As we know, the market in Iraq, and I think Ammar will concur to this, most of the materials come either from Turkey or Iran or China, to now as of late. But that does not deprive other manufacturers or suppliers from Europe, from the UK, even from the US, whereby they can market their products and as applicable to the local demand, because also you have to take into account that you can't compare a market like Iraq with other markets where conditions are normal and you expect certain prices per unit to be discharged. So you need to take the local conditions into account. And this is very important. That's a challenge. So that's my answer to that.
Thank you very much. Ayman, did you want to say anything at all finally about the suppliers or your objectives you want to really achieve with partnership with companies?
Well, regarding partnership with companies, we can make it through our network of clients. We have clients who work in different sectors in Iraq, and we do play the role of, linking those companies who are interested in the Iraqi market to connect them with the clients that work with us in different sectors. And we do have a partnership with the legal firm that they work for us, in which they help international companies registering their companies in Iraq if they decide to do so.
Sounds like an extremely good reason to join your bank, because you're effectively acting a bit like a broker for business, which is a great idea and really adds a lot of value. What I'm going to do now, Porrick, would you like to say anything before we go at all, or you observed anything? Will you be writing this up in the Iraq Business News at all? Or?
Yeah, certainly will, and I just think it's great to see again what these businesses are doing in Iraq, and again the fact that it's local initiatives as well, very important in all of this. So some of it's coming from the outside, but also you've got Iraqis involved and improving their own country. So I think that's very important.
Thank you. So now what we're going to do, everybody, we're going to, if you wish, you can apply to talk to any one of the panelists. So it could be Podrick, could be Wajdi, Amar, or Ayman. And then I think the breakout room will then take you to there. So you have the option, you click on it and you go to it. And I think you may even be able to go into more than one room at a time. So you can have one in one room, then go to another one and go around. So if that's all right, we'll just send the breakout rooms to everybody, and you can click on who you wish to meet and discuss things with. So, okay, Agni, are you with the magic breakout?
Yep, it's all open.
Hello, everybody. Well, this is just the final part here. I've said goodbye to everybody. So if you want to go to any of the breakout rooms, if you have the option, that's the end of it, really. So I'm not sure there's any point in being in this room. Agni, could you send me off to another room, please?
Yeah, which one you want to go?
I don't mind. Let's go to Wajdi.
Okay, let me.
Thank you.
Just give me a second.
Are the other people here okay, or are they just not maybe on the call?
I think they are not active.
Okay. Hello? Breakout rooms. Right, okay. Thank you.